Hey there, Fact Explorers! Welcome back to Wow Facts for Kids. Today, we're going on a wild and adventurous journey back in time to meet a group of fierce warriors, clever sailors, and bold explorers, the Vikings. So grab your horned helmets. Just kidding. That's fact number one. And let's find out who the Vikings really were. Fact one: Vikings didn't actually wear horned helmets. You've probably seen pictures of Vikings with big, scary helmets that have horns on them. But that's just a myth. Real Viking helmets were made of iron or leather, no horns included. So where did the horn idea come from? It turns out artists made that up hundreds of years later to make Vikings look more dramatic. Fact 2. Vikings came from Scandinavia. The Vikings lived over 1,000 years ago in countries we now call Norway, Sweden, and Denmark, a region called Scandinavia. They sailed across seas and oceans looking for new places to live, trade, and explore. Imagine setting off in a wooden boat with no GPS, just the stars and the sea. Fact 3. Not all Vikings were warriors. Yes, some Vikings were fierce fighters, but most of them were actually farmers, fishermen, and traders. They raised animals, grew crops, and made things like jewelry and tools. So when they weren't raiding, they were plowing fields or catching fish for dinner. Fact 4. Viking ships were amazing. The Vikings built long, narrow boats called longships, and they were super fast. They had sails and oars, and they could travel across oceans and sneak up rivers. That's how the Vikings got as far as Russia, North Africa, and even North America, about 500 years before Christopher Columbus. Fact 5. Vikings had cool nicknames. Vikings often had fun or fierce-sounding nicknames. There was Erik the Red. He had red hair. And his son, Leif the Lucky, who is believed to be the first European to reach North America. These names helped tell people who they were and what they were known for. Fact 6. They had their own laws and courts. Even though they're known for raiding, the Vikings had a strong sense of justice. They held meetings called things where people gathered to make decisions, solve problems, and settle arguments. It was kind of like a Viking courtroom. Fact 7. Vikings believed in magical gods and creatures. Vikings followed the Norse religion, full of powerful gods like Odin, Thor, and Loki. They believed in magical lands, giant sea serpents, and even brave warriors who went to Valhalla after they died in battle. It was like a real-life Marvel universe, only much older. Fact 8. Viking kids didn't go to school. That's right. Most Viking children didn't go to school like you do. Instead, they learned by helping their parents. Boys would farm or learn to fight, and girls would help cook and sew. But don't worry, they still had fun. Viking kids played games, told stories, and even had toys made of wood or bone. Wow! The Vikings were so much more than just raiders. They were explorers, builders, farmers, and storytellers. Which Viking fact was your favorite? Was it the longships, the nicknames, or the magical gods? If you had your own Viking nickname, what would it be? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a new adventure with Wow Facts for Kids. Until next time, Skål. That's how Vikings say cheers.